How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to Maverick Designs Woodworking. If you're new here, my name is Tom. Today, I want to talk to you guys about this Bora panel carrier. So I really don't know anything about this yet. I bought it on a whim. I think it might have been on sale when I got it. And I really don't know if it's going to be useful for me or not. But I just went and bought a bunch of plywood this morning. And one of the things that I've noticed, that I've been noticing for some time, is that the older I get, the harder it is for me to move things around. And that's no exception. So I'm hoping that this will help with that. I also have an infeed problem on my table saw, which prevents me from doing big stuff on there just because it's too difficult. And I'm hoping that this might help with that too. So let's check it out. I hear it's not easy to put together, but we'll find out. If you want to see it, stick around because that's what we're going to do today. Okay, I wanted to throw in a quick disclaimer before we get started. So I was doing some research on this before I started putting it together and realized that it is actually discontinued. They're not making it anymore. However, you can still get it in some places. It looks like Rockler is still selling them at a clearance rate of like $69, which is really good because these things usually go for closer to $300. So if you get to the end of this video and decide that it's going to work for you, I would strongly suggest you hightail it over there and try to pick one up for that price. But there are other brands that make something very similar to this. Obviously, I'm not testing them in this video, but assuming that they work the same way, which they seem to do, they should be as helpful. So I'm going to leave links for those in the description below, Amazon affiliate links, for anybody that wants to take a look at them and see if they will work for you as well as this does. Honestly, I think some of those are probably better than this because I was looking at them and they have, they basically flip into a cart where you can build storage into the bottom. They're actually pretty cool. It just seems like they take up more space. So anyway, check those out if you want to. Let's get started with this thing. All right, so unpacking was pretty straightforward. There was stuff in the box and I took it out of the box. If you really want to see that in all of its real-time glory, let me know and maybe I'll make a Patreon or something for you to watch it. Otherwise, let's move on to assembly. To say the instructions were lacking would be a monumental understatement. They are literally a series of pictures and not very good or accurate ones at that, but there aren't a lot of pieces, so you can figure it out with a little hair pulling and a few choice words. One of the most annoying things was that it's not clear what hardware to use where, especially in a couple of particular steps, and there are no words with the pictures to elaborate on that, so you'll just have to kind of figure it out. In fact, there aren't any instructions at all for installing this release lever besides a single picture towards the end, and I almost missed it. I also almost lost this little lock ring that holds it on. It's just dumb luck that I didn't, so be on the lookout for that when you're unpacking if you get this thing. Again, there aren't that many parts, so it's really more of an annoyance than anything. The best tip that I can give you regarding putting it together is that some of the hardware sits into a cutout like this. If you follow the pictures, particularly for the first installation of these, you will likely install these in the wrong orientation with the nut inside this recess instead of the bolt head, as I did. This won't work because as you tighten it up, you'll eventually get to a point where you can't grab the nut with the wrench anymore and you won't be able to tighten it all the way, at least not easily. So make sure that you put the bolt heads on this side instead. Other than that, if you're not used to working with bearings, you'll likely be tempted to over-tighten the wheels when putting them on. Instead, tighten the nuts until they just barely make contact and then slowly and incrementally tighten while checking the wheel rotation. Typically, a little tiny bit of drag like this is what you're looking for. If they're too loose, they'll wobble around, and if they're too tight, they won't move like they should, and you could even damage the bearings. And it's pretty easy to over-tighten them. I'm pretty much done at this point, but because I installed those first couple of bolts in the wrong orientation, I have to go back and redo them here. Once I was done, I played around with it a little to get familiar with its operation, and then I was ready to test it. Alright, so it wheels around nice and smooth, at least in one direction. Because there are only two inline wheels, kind of like a rollerblade, you either have to drag it or kind of pick it up and turn it to make it go in another direction. But it's really light with nothing on it, so that's not an issue at all when it's empty. And when you're ready to park it to load it up, you just flick it open and it's ready to accept your sheet goods. So I'm going to segue off topic here for just a second because I really have to tell you about this Craig panel carrier that you see me using here. This thing is not only awesome, but it's pretty cheap for how freaking good it works. Now I can still manage 1/4 and 1/2 inch plywood sheets relatively well on my own, but not so much 3/4 inch or heavier materials like MDF. This thing makes it so easy to move these things around, especially in tight spaces. I have bought and tried other carriers like this one that I got from the Big Orange store. I tried it once and I never touched it again. It's just such a hassle to lift the sheet up enough to get under it, especially in the center of the sheet and especially with a 50-year-old back. Forget it. But this one simply clamps over the top and then it closes and grips the sheet on its own through the lifting motion. And then you just get your shoulder up under it and use your legs to lift it without even bending your back. I mean, seriously, I'm wondering where this thing has been my whole life. An older guy saw me using it in the parking lot when I bought these sheets, and he begged me to tell him where he could get one because he saw how easy it was for me to move them around and load them into the back of my truck on my own with it. So if you ever buy sheet goods and you don't have one, I highly recommend it. It'll be one of the best $20 or so that you've ever spent on a tool. Anyway, I just felt compelled to share that with you, so I'll leave an Amazon affiliate link to it in the description below if you're interested. Now, back to the Bora. Okay, once you get your sheet on it, you simply apply a little pressure down from the top edge and physics kind of does the rest, easily flipping it down into a flat horizontal position. As long as you get the sheet more or less centered on the carrier, it balances really well. I tried moving it in this position, and you can do it, though it's a little awkward, but again, only in the direction that the wheels are aligned in. I suppose you could try to drag it around to another direction, but I don't think I'd try it. It's much easier to just flip it back up into the vertical position, close up the legs, and then move it around that way. But again, while you can drag it into another direction like this, it's a bit more difficult now with the weight of the sheet on it. So I would probably just try to make sure that it's more or less in the position where you need it when you load the sheet onto it. That'll just make your life easier. One of the main reasons I bought this thing was to see if it would help me with infeed support on the table saw. In order to do that, I need the sheet to be level with or maybe a hair higher than the top of the saw, and luckily there is an adjustment for that. It's a little awkward to make the adjustment just because of friction, as I had to use both of my feet to hold down both of the legs so that I could pull it up, but I'm sure a little paste wax or some other lubricant would help take care of that. Because using it with a 3/4 inch sheet will likely be the most common height that I will need to use this for, I just used a piece of 3/4 MDF to line it up, and then I marked that position on the inner tubes with a Sharpie so that I could use those marks as reference stops next time I need to adjust it, and that seems like it's going to work well for me. Once I got it adjusted and locked into place, I was ready to put it to the test and see if it will be a viable infeed support for the table saw. So first I tried using it as infeed support to cut along the whole 8-foot length of the panel, and it worked pretty well. The only real issue I had was keeping the panel perfectly flat to the fence, which I did for the most part, but not perfectly. This was kind of expected though, as it's normal to have this issue with just about any long cut, unless you're using a feather board, which wasn't possible here, or stock guides, which I have been putting off getting for years now, but I think this has convinced me that I should make the investment and get some. Next, I tried using it as side support to make a cut with the whole length of the panel hanging off to the side. Now, I've done these cuts before using another person to help stabilize and balance the weight on that end, and it works, and so did this. The only caveat here is that I had to position the carrier at about center with the blade so that I would have support at both the beginning of the cut and at the end of the cut, so that the cutoff didn't fall off once the cut was complete. This worked out, but there was some pressure adjustment necessary on my side in order to keep the cutoff from tipping away at the end of the cut, since the carrier is only about 11 inches wide across the tubes that are supporting the weight in this configuration. I don't think it would have worked if I had been cutting the entire sheet instead of only about half of it, but I really didn't have any issue keeping it against the fence this way, as I was closer and able to control both sides of the cut on the table rather than pushing from several feet back from it. So all in all, it does work for this application to an extent. All right, so now that I've had a chance to test it and use it, what do I think? What are my thoughts on it? I like it, actually. It I think it's not perfect for what I do or for the size of my shop. I think if you have a much bigger shop or maybe multiple buildings, or you have to go a long distance from your transport vehicle to get it to the shop or whatever, if you're going to be moving it for a long distance, this thing would be fantastic because you can slap it on there, put it down into that position, and then just roll it wherever you need to. So my shop is only 20 by 20. I don't need to move it that much. I can back the truck like literally right up to the garage door, and it's not necessary for me to move it all that much. So it doesn't provide that much function for me as far as that goes, unless I needed to drag a sheet like out into the backyard or somewhere else at a different part of the house. But one of the things that I really wanted it for was the ability to support both on the infeed side of the table saw and on the side of the table saw, so that I could make cuts with full sheets or at least really long pieces that had some support either on the infeed or on that side where most of the weight would be tipping it off the table. And it does work for that. It worked pretty well in both cases. I think if I'm going to use it in that way again, I definitely need to get some stock guides. I've been wanting them anyway for a long time. I mean, I think they would, together with this thing, make it perfect for that application. And then again, on the side, it does work, but I think if you had the entire 4-foot width of the plywood sheet or whatever sheet you're using, you might have an issue because the bars are only about 11 inches wide on that thing. So you can get like one side to help you with the infeed as you push it across, and then as you get to the end, as long as you still have it on the back bar when you push through the cut, it should be okay. But I think with a full sheet, there would be too much weight in that top left corner there, and you'd really have to try to keep it from falling over. And while it wouldn't necessarily cause a safety problem, it's going to ding up the corner of your plywood, and nobody wants that. All things considered, it's still a better option to use a track saw, I think, to break down the biggest pieces and then make your final cuts on the table saw. But sometimes you can't do that, right? Sometimes you need to make a long cut and you need it to be accurate and straight. And it's really difficult to do when it's 8-10 feet long and you don't have any infeed support at all. So this is definitely helpful for that. And at $69, if you can go pick this up. At the time of me recording this, Rockler still says that they have them available for, I think it's $69. I would say it's worth it if you could use it for any of those applications. The other cool thing about this thing too is the ability to flip it up, right? So if you put it on there and you need to move it somewhere, you can flip it up, you can mark and measure and do whatever you need to, and then flip it back down, move it again, whatever. So having the ability to have it in both positions is actually pretty cool. And I thought about this too, just actually a few minutes ago. If you wanted to use it, right? So one of my problems with using the track saw, the reason why I don't like to use the track saw to cut, is because I have to take these small strips of foam and lay them down on the floor because I don't have room to put a full 4x8 sheet of foam anywhere in here and keep it reasonably stored so that it doesn't get destroyed without having to move it around 18,000 times a day. And I just don't have the patience or the discipline for that. So I have to put everything on the floor, pull the sheet off of the truck, put it on the ground, get down on the ground to mark and measure and put the tracks on there and get on my knees and, use the track saw, and it works. But I'm going to be 52 years old here pretty soon, and getting up and down from that kneeling position is not as easy as it used to be. And it's uncomfortable. My knees hurt, like my hips hurt. Like, sorry, I don't want to go into like old man problems, but it is what it is, right? So the ability to cut it even with the track saw on an elevated surface, which I've done before on my workbench, but it's difficult to get the sheet up. I got to slide it across the table saw into the middle of the shop where the workbench is, get the foam situated on the workbench. I mean, it works, and I've done it a bunch of times, but it's usually easier and more efficient just to bring it out, throw it on the floor, do it, and then finish the cuts on the table saw. But with this thing, what I was getting at is, I think if you get like a quarter or maybe half-inch sheet of something nice and flat like MDF, and then you can laminate some, 1-inch foam to it or whatever, maybe not one, whatever, some foam, laminate some foam to it, and you put that on it, And then, maybe jerry rig some way to stabilize it a little bit. But then when you put your sheet on top of that and you flip it up, it's sitting on top of that foam board now that's, on top of the carrier. And you could probably run your track saw right there and use it kind of like an MFT table or something. But, maybe that's a little overkill or extra work that you don't really need to do. It's just an idea that I had. But in any case, if you need to move your wood around, your sheets of plywood, your sheets of whatever, moving them around, and you have trouble doing it, especially if you need to move it long distances, this thing would be really good for that. So I would recommend it for that. And for $69, I would go and buy it again just for the use for the in-feed and side feed purposes for the table saw. So it does have a use for me. Plus I can fold it up. I can just stick it in the corner somewhere. It doesn't get in the way. The bigger, more expensive ones that they have now that are still available, those are really cool. They look way more stable. The tables are bigger. They have space at the bottom for you to build cabinets or storage, whatever down there. So check those out if you have the space for them, and they might work for you better than even this one will. But in any case, that's my thoughts on it, and that's what I'm going to use it for. Before I forget, if you don't have one of these, go and get yourself one if you ever have to move sheets around, because for like $24, this thing is freaking awesome. It's one of the best tool purchases I've ever made. Highly recommended. Link in the description below. Get yourself one. It's awesome. And that's going to bring us to the end of this video. So, as always, thank you for watching. Stay safe and happy woodworking. I'll see you on the next one.